certainly the best.
Hello, viewers. Welcome to Viewpoints on ITV. I am Caroline Okonji, and today on Viewpoint, we're going to be talking about the current electricity issues and situations that we as business owners, as individuals, are facing in Nigeria, as over 80% of households lack adequate access to grid, as Nigeria's electricity sector suffers from chronic liquidity trap and infrastructural decay, leading to frequent national grid collapses, with generation dropping below 4,200 megawatts, far short of the 4,000 megawatts required for its citizens and population. It is a Viewpoint on ITV, and we're going to be looking at some of the key issues affecting our electricity sector in Nigeria. I am Caroline Okonji.
In terms of security of it, we need light. And based on that, in some areas, it makes it difficult for us when we are on patrol at night. And we are even begging the state government to try and do something, at least by supplying street lights in some area that are dark in the night. In most cases in our community, there are places that is very dangerous, that without light we cannot do anything of such. For so doing, we want, as a matter of urgency, the Edo State government to try and do the needful, so that the security will be okay for us, so that we can be able to work effectively.
The issue of NEPA issue that you came from is very rapid to us, in the sense that the NEPA look as if we are not a citizen of Nigeria, because since a month there's no light in us. We have been passing through. Which NEPA, anytime they came, a minute or 30 minutes to, they will come and they will bring the light to us. That is, we are not expecting them to come and collect their bill. Indirectly, we are expecting bill from them to come and collect. Within that hour or 2 hours, you will see a number of people with a ladder. They will come. They will come. And after their collection, there's nothing like light again. They will block us up. I think before we have this light, they mandated us to buy a meter, which we bought individual. We pay through the NDC, we have our transformer here, not through NEPA. Before we got out this light, they mandated us to write an application of submitting it to the NEPA as a will to them. And we work for it. We should not claim ownership. And we fought for the transformer. And after that, again, they came that there is no oil in it. We pay up to 1 point something again. Before, after all that, they came up again, said it was meter issue again, that every community, every houses have to have a meter, which we did. We have to. I have my own receipt. I have my paper meter in my residential house here. So after all that again, they came up with a past bill. We, before we make that transformer, got that transformer, we been glass out for 10 years here. They came with a bill to us again that we need to pay a standing bill. We went to Tesame, their office there. After we left the one at the bypass, they were delivering us before they now refer us to the one at bypass. I don't want to mention name of the manager there. Got in there again. He said we have to go for all those things. We need to fulfill all those things which we did. After that, they now on the light for us. As they on the light, not up to a month, we were still in blackout again. So at the end of it, we went again. They said it was according to them that the electric wiring merge. That was the cause that they now cut us off again from EOY again, which we not pay. Pay that much again. The Chile community, which is the Kabetu, Igbo and Igwekimi. After that, they brought a light for a week again. After a week, they cut us off again. They said, EOY is owing. We now went to the office again and told them that if EOY is owing, does that mean it affects our community? We are blackout. So I told you this. So before we sort all those things out, we have already made up our mind. We can do away with our NEPA. When our father was living with a lamp and all these things, we were enjoying it. We cannot be paying for what we are not using. We cannot be paying for what we are not using. So if they feel they want to cut us off from this NEPA issue, they should cut everybody off totally, so that we will know that we are not with NEPA. Not that after 3 weeks, they will not bring a light under 2 hours or 3 hours. They will come and collect their money. It's unfair to the masses.
The electricity issues and challenges that BEDC in the state is devastating, in the sense that as a minister I suffer a lot in terms of electricity. As an individual, not only me, the entire people of Edo State, and not only in Edo State, Nigeria as a whole, we are really facing electricity challenge in the country, in the sense that we are not getting constant light. Even though the tariff of electricity is high, people don't even get the light. I don't know how the government will enhance constant light for the Nigerian people, especially in Edo State here. We are seeing the government are not taking a proactive step towards this direction. But if the government will be able to ensure that people are paying for electricity and they are not getting electricity, government should take a drastic step in this direction by making sure if people have constant light, people will want to pay for it. But a situation where you don't see light, at the end of the month you see BEDC personnel coming to people's house to come to cut lights, is really a problem. My major concern is that let them provide us electricity and people will pay for it. But a situation whereby we don't have constant light, out of 24 hours, people cannot boast of 3 hours light in a day. It's a problem that we are really facing. People who are doing business cannot do business effectively. People who are doing business, they want to make sure their food stuff does not get spoiled. Nobody can preserve their food again. Even though they cook, you cannot preserve it. Even though electricity for our artisans to work, they cannot get electricity to empower their equipment in order to boost productivity for the entire society. It is really a problem. The state of electricity in our country, in our state, is very poor. Very, very poor. We don't know how government is creating effectiveness on this aspect. We say Nigeria is generating electricity and the neighboring are getting electricity, and the people that are in this country are not benefiting it. Nigerians, we are crying. As a person, I am crying. We don't say as an individual we don't want to pay for electricity. We are not saying that they should give us light for free, but let them make light available and let people pay for it.
They often tell us the national grid is collapsed. So ultimately it's to develop enough capacity, the whole process of generation, distribution and the rest of it. And then the enabling law, the happy thing recently is that they have said is deregulated. State governments and private investors can now enter the electricity market, generate and sell. So we do hope that will be a great deal of improvement, because without electricity, really, we are going to remain in the Stone Age. We cannot industrialize. Even domestically, we cannot have the comfort we should derive from electricity. We should consider all the options, whether the new sources like wind, solar in our country, so that we're able to generate enough for our consumption. The darkness is a cover for any kind of nefarious activity. Yeah, so if the place is not well lit or substantially lit up, people can ordinarily hide under the cover of darkness to perpetrate just anything, not just robbery, kidnapping and whatever you have. Yeah. Don't also forget that we now have private investors. The government doesn't have so much to do with electricity anymore, apart from regulation. So they also have to maximize their profit. So it may have been a mistake in the first instance, divesting from electricity at the level of government.
Let me talk about the state where I live, where I reside. The total blackout is nothing to write up about. We really suffer when it comes to light. Edo is suffering. I think our governor is trying to, we have to do more. Our Excellency, Senator Monday, our governor of Edo, Executive Governor, you have to do more when it comes to that light issue. We are suffering. There are some of us who can provide electricity for ourselves, solar and all that. Maybe a generator, this was the case, maybe, but not everybody. And so at this junction, I think it is expedient that our governor looks straight into this issue and solve this problem. What would I call it? I don't know the right English to use. The right English right now, we have serious problem when it comes to light. Businesses are going down. Those selling drinks, those who have koro, without generator, you can't do anything. And the J is on the high side. Those small jewelry, those are better passing. Our neighbor used to buy them 30,000, 10,000. Now you can't buy it. Then the other one is the Tiger and the LMX, 1 point something for ordinary generator. So it doesn't make any sense at all. So begging on our executive governor, the governor that knows what to do, to please to look into us and save us from darkness. Then when it comes to these funny BDC people, we're raising a child that came from the US and the others. The first thing they learned in Nigeria is NEPA don't bring light. Children brought from abroad, the NEPA don't bring light. Can you imagine such? And so these funny people, 2 days, they'll bring the light on and off for 2 days. The next thing they'll come with their estimated billing. They start dragging people, wires and all that. It's high time. I think it's high time we stand our ground and let them know that we're not fools. We are Nigerians. We all own this nation. It belongs to nobody. It belongs to nobody and it's for everybody. We should stand our ground and fight for our rights. This BDC, I bet may they pack, may they go. NEPA still better pass. You can't go out at night when there is no light. The security issue. Is what the government is trying. I cannot chrome them in one day, but we individual too. Like the police used to say, see something, say something. But sometimes when you say something, they use it as a bait, and so we need to. Edo State government need to give us security as well. Nightlife in Benin is almost gone, but I also want to say kudos to our governor. For the first time, it was December free of bloodshed. It was wonderful. December, look, we have most of our people in Nigeria right now, those living in diaspora, those living abroad. Many of them came December and this January. And they came and they're enjoying it. So I believe our excellent governor Our Excellency can do more about that to give us more security. Like those travel, if you're traveling from Benin to Akure, Benin to Ifon, those roads are no go area at night. You can't date. So I believe with all hands on deck and our governor and the police, our CP, let's hope and pray for our action governor to do something about insecurity.
ADDC, since they came in, I don't think they have done well by my own assessment. And darkness is synonymous with demonic things. And they have thrown their city into darkness, Benin City, Edo State as it were, is in darkness. And I think that the government should step into the matter to do something about the situation. Because the way I look at it is that, for me, I think it is deliberate. Because there are some areas that have light, they call it dedicated light. So why can't everybody have the same light? Because there are areas for 2 weeks no light, for 1 month no light. Some people have 3 hours a day, some people have 1 hour. And if they bring light in this 20th century, people shout, hey, they'll be saying up NEPA instead of up BEDC, which is BEDC. So the thing is that government should step in and help us. People are dying, and most people are paying for darkness. They go there, they threaten people, they bring light when it is mountain for 3 days, 2 hours, 3 days, they come and collect money and they shut it down again. So I think the government should step in. If they are going to be thrown out, they should be thrown and bring people who can give us light, who are ready to pay. It was privatized. That was a good intention by government, but the people that did it, I'm sure they gave it to their cronies who does not know anything about the management of light, and that's why we are where we are. It has really hampered nightlife because you don't work in darkness. And then the only thing that is helping us now is this solar, and people put everywhere. And some persons that have money to buy diesel and buy fuel, it's not everybody that have that kind of money. So it has really disturbed or hampered nightlife, but government is trying to bring it back by putting street light and everything. So we commend them. We pray that God will give government more power, more strength, more wisdom to do what they have to do. And there's individuals are also trying by helping to lighten up everywhere. So we praise them. But for BEDC, I think they should go. We need better people.
The situation of electricity in Benin here now, I will give them at least 30%. They don't give up 50% from my area. But I wish the government can improve, because if you see what they happen to us now, we all they use our hand to define electricity. Some of us will go generator for us, some of us will get solar, some of us will go generate big blister. All these people will get like hotel. So I wish the government they really improve for electricity. All those generators will become condemned for our hand. You understand? So people are not going to go for it. And money, now they need to input, because that energy, that light will really need that. If light day for this, imagine if you come for here for Silok Road now, come and already put light, but in the evening, everywhere will be dark. So where there's light, everything, even the security aspect of itself, waiting anything for that light is too plenty. Maybe one particular. So we need light. If I come out for office now, if light no dey, we must buy generator. At least from office I dey buy at least, if I'm not mistaken, 5,000 every day for sure. Imagine times 1 month, na big money. And na money. From there I will come see look at it, we come here say we come dey go for solar. Make we use solar take stabilize them, because solar dey give us more, make savings from the fuel aspect of it. So if you get light, nothing like light, your light can carry AC, can carry everything for us. And to the noise, no go even give you that noise issue. So we prefer light more than any other thing.
The light is our problem. We are suffering for light. You can see our business without light, we cannot improve. We need light. The show of light is because it's very, very, very low. I don't know if you're getting very low. We need light. The show of light in Edo State is very poor. Patronage is very low. You can see we bought fuel at least every day 10,000, 15,000 a day. But you can stay 2 days, 3 days, no light. The show of business is very, very, very low. Very low. So we are begging government to improve on light aspect. Without light, you cannot sell bulb, you cannot sell fan. You understand? When you have light, you prepare to buy fan. Not everybody can provide solar for his house. Actually, we need light.
Electricity
in Benin City or in Edo State has been with mixed feelings, because to some they will give the positive nod that they are faring well with the supply of electricity, but with some become so epileptic of recent. Me personally, I have discovered that we are not paying for what we get, or we don't get what we pay for. The reason being that the regulatory body that's supposed to task the BEDC are not doing enough to satisfy a customer by way of ensuring that you get what you pay for. For those who are using prepaid meter, there are reports that suggest that even the prepaid meter is even overbilling or overcharging consumers, as against what the government is telling us. Only recently we discovered that the BDC keep complaining that the generation company is not supplying them what they ought to get, which will in turn affect the consumer. And even at a point they also raise the issue of federal government owing them. But just recently the federal government has paid a huge sum of money to liquidate what they are owing this distribution company. But looking at the experience of consumer in terms of the electricity supply, it is so appalling. They will either give you excuse of faulty transformer, which they left for the consumer to contribute money to fix, whereas it is supposed to be the onus of BDC to fix the transformer so that they can in turn supply electricity to the consumer who pay for that service. It's like you are buying a recharge card. I am not sure that the recharge card you buy is what they give you. It varies from quarter to quarter. It varies from consumer to consumer. For example, for those who have been using the analog or the estimated billing, you will discover that whatever they bring, which is not subject to negotiation, by the time you now procure your own prepaid meter, they will bring everything inside the bill and begin to roll out deductions arbitrarily without consulting with the consumer. Even the estimated billing they brought was not even discussed by the consumer. So, and there is nobody that is there to advocate for the consumer or to leverage on the complaints. Nobody to complain to. So that makes it very, very heartbreaking. So for me, I believe the federal government and indeed the lawmaker, the National Assembly, should set up a body where consumer can run to and lay their complaints, so that there can be an equilibrium between the consumer and the BDC, for example.
To wrap it up on Viewpoint on ITV, we're going to be highlighting some of the key issues that was actually mentioned by our respondents, which some said it is as a result of poor maintenance, gas supply shortage, and poor metering, just to list but a few. And the government at all levels, they are expected to do the needful and do the right thing to ensure steady power supply for citizens in order to boost means of livelihood, especially for business owners in the country. It is Viewpoint on ITV. I am Caroline Okunji.
ITV, certainly the best.
Omonoba Nedu Ukwakolopolo Ewai II, Oba of Benin, stepped out majestically with loud crowd to perform the Isuton rites of his late mother, Queen Mother Ioba Omoni Ikoyeme, Ioba Ewai II, who departed this world 49 years ago. Isoton is a traditional rite of the procession in memory of the departed person's spirit in Benin Kingdom. It is usually heralded by public display of the departed person's influence during their sojourn on earth. The display of a human effigy symbolizing the departed royal matriarch was preceded by the Oba of Benin, who led the procession from his palace to the Emotan Shrine at King Square in Benin City, where he offered prayers for the repose of the soul of the Queen Mother, Ioba Ewai II. Thereafter, the priest assigned to the Emotan Shrine offered Oba Ewai II items for Isoton on behalf of his family. However, chalk, known as Uri, represented a mixture from royal fans after ancestral spirits were invoked to bear witness and announce his arrival. On his way home, Oba Ewai paid tributes at various pilgrimage sites, including Queen Idia Tomb, beside Oba Market, where a cheerful crowd of traders abandoned their wares to catch a glimpse of the royal personage and join in the celebration.
ITV, certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best.
These are people in masquerade dance known as Ogbangbada Masquerade, also referred to as Ike Masquerade, located in Akokwa, a town in Idiato North local government area of Imo State, Nigeria. The Ogbangbada Masquerade originated from the Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria, specially recognized as a traditional dance and cultural fixture in Idiato North local government area of Imo State. It is often referred to as Ebwebe by the local people. The dance is considered a deeply rooted ancient cultural dance in the old region of Imo State. The dance is energetic, fast and powerful, as the drums are vibrant and the people add color to the display of the masquerade.
right here. Come on, I Manonya le yo jakan lagi. Oke ni mana nak kau kepengen kau dulu.
The masquerade dance is accompanied with a large crowd of dancers and by specialized drums. The dance is handed down through lineage rather than formal training, as the dance is believed to be ingrained in the blood of the people. The masquerade dance is interesting and accepted by all as it creates fanfare in the community. It brings people from far and near to come witness the display of the Ogbangbada masquerade dance.
Thank you.
Certainly the best.
This is Aqua Game, a popular game in Africa played by our ancestors to entertain themselves after each day of farming. It is also relevant in our coronation in Africa. It is a sport and indeed very interesting, as every seed had a role in the game. Playtime is 45 minutes per set. There is no age limit as long as you can spin Aqua Seed. Ayo or Aqua Game, known as the game of intellectual. This game requires a lot of mathematical skills. Aqua Game is played with carved wooden box containing 12 holes.
ITV, certainly the best.
Good morning, tech lovers. Yes, you're tuning into Tech Today, that one program where we discuss everything, anything technology, where we'll break it down to you in simple terms and we'll let you understand what we're talking about when it comes to the world of technology. Yes, my name is Momo Lawal, or you can call me Mr. Kankan, and you'll be correct. Today, we'll be diving into something that is changing the way we live, the way we work, and the way we learn. We talk about it every day. It's called AI chatbots, artificial intelligence chatbots. Yes, from the popular ChatGPT to Google Gemini to several other chatbots that we have out there. These smart assistants are helping Gen Zs, they're helping the millennials, they're helping everybody to create content, helping them to, small businesses run efficiently and also making everyday life easier. But now the question goes, are they really helping the future, or is this just a hype? Well, we're going to explore this today, and I have a guest today. Is a tech, I want to call him a tech guru, but then he's a back-end engineer, Alex Oche. Welcome to the program, brother.
Thank you for having me, Momo.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us in the program. So, Alex, we're going to talk about this artificial intelligence chatbots, and but before we go into that, we're going to, talk about what is happening in the world of tech. We're going to share what we call the tech updates from the global perspective to what is happening here in Nigeria. Stay tuned for the next segment, which is called Tech Updates. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back to the program. Yes, it's still tech today. And going straight into the tech update segment, we have first globally that robots are now smarter at working with humans. That's what Fujitsu is saying. So Fujitsu has introduced a new technology that allows robots to understand and predict human movement when working in the same space. So what this just simply means now, before now, we all know robots just follow instructions. But with this new system, robots can now sense what a human worker is about to do and adjust their actions, like it's slowing down or if the person is moving, aside. So why this is important for us to know is that with this new technology, it makes the workplace safer. You don't see a robot walking into a wall or just, going because you say move, it just moves. It now knows when to stop and not when to keep going. It reduces accidents in factories and in industries. This also shows that robots are being designed now to assist humans and not to replace them, for popular opinion. And also this means that this future of work is a collaboration and not competition. Alex, this tech update about robots, we all know what robots are before, and now we're having them now doing things like assisting their, and not just following instructions, but now becoming an assistant. What do you think about this update, brother?
For me, I think it's amazing.
Okay.
The fact you have somebody who understands you, a boss who understands you, who can even think for you. So it's amazing. It's a good one where
it's a good one.
It makes you active. It gives you insights. It lets you know what's happening, what's going to happen, and what has happened. All this together, sourcing all these informations, and you have it at your fingertips. It's amazing.
Thereby making life easier. All right. Next on the tech updates, we have globals and experts are warning about AI, that is artificial intelligence, becoming too powerful. So over 800 experts, tech leaders and public figures worldwide are calling for a pause on developing artificial intelligence systems that could surpass human intelligence. So what is happening right now is that AI is getting smarter very, very fast. I believe you all know. Because sometimes before you think something is already even acting in that way, it even has sarcasm and all of that. Before people say AI could not have emotions, but now you'll be talking to your chatbot and it's even saying, come on, you're funny. And it's giving you all those emotions and you think you're interacting with a real human being. So experts now fear that if it becomes too powerful without proper rules, humans may struggle to control how it is being used. So AI already is affecting some jobs and then social media, and you see some fake news flying around, and it's even affecting decision making. So saying what those 800 plus experts are saying is without regulation, proper regulation, it could be abused, and governments are being urged to act early. Alex, I think this is a wake-up call for governments and people around that use AI. So this update is a valid one, and it's a good one.
It is, and it's here to stay for us to actually regulate the AI, know what it's about, and then make sure it doesn't go overboard.
Yes,
it's a good one.
Imagine AI. I think I watched a episode on the series one time when you see the name of the series is Love, Death and Robots. Okay, so this AI chatbot now started overdoing the work. It was supposed to be a cleaner, a vacuum cleaner, but now it now started being a smart vacuum cleaner. And now started purging the house and purging the owner. So without regulations, we don't know where AI is going to go. So the message is very simple: AI progress must go hand in hand with safety and responsibility. Lastly, on the global tech updates, we have that McDonald's is using artificial intelligence to run its supply chain. So McDonald's has developed AI, artificial intelligence, to manage how food and supply move across its global outlets. So AI now helps McDonald's predict how much food customer will need, where it is needed, and when, so they don't overstock or run out. So this is something we should care about, and it's an update that we should know, because now it means that we'll have less food waste and faster services and lower costs, which can even help to stabilize prices. What do you imagine this, Alex, being brought into Nigeria here, and you see our food out? It seems you like food very well.
Exactly, my point. You know, if this is being brought to Nigeria space, you know, it will cut down a lot of wasteful resources.
I agree, bro.
Where you get to know how much it's being. But for example, you have to employ an accountant who has to know how much you need to manage. But with this source of AI, it gives you everything. You need this amount for today. We use X amount tomorrow. And then it's all wrapped up.
And people don't need to, there's no food wastage anymore.
Exactly. Cuts of labor, so many things.
It's cut out.
It's cut out.
AI is really helping the world. Now, going local now, the tech updates happening here in Nigeria. First, we have Nigeria's approved satellite internet companies. So Nigeria has approved satellite license for companies like Amazon's Project Cooper to provide internet services. So what this simply means is that instead of relying only on cable, that's fiber cables, optical cables and all of that, or network masts, internet can now be sent directly from satellites in space. We have one, like I think Starlink does that. So yeah, this means you have better internet in rural areas and remote areas that don't have masts that's up to that area.
Exactly.
You have support online. This can also support online education and also encourage remote jobs. And also, it can also boost Nigeria's digital economy. Alex, I think this is a welcoming one. This is a good tech update from Nigeria.
I really appreciate the Nigerian tech team. I really like the tech experts for actually bringing this around, because it's a good one. If this stays in our internet, you know how much we use the internet daily. You know our issues with our internet.
So things are streaming us right now within the internet.
Exactly. So you know how it is bringing the Starlink, and you know others will come in. It's a competition, and then we get it right.
Yeah, I agree. We'll get it right, and then we'll now bridge the gap of how people can access the internet. People in the rural areas especially can have these services right in their doorstep, because it's just to access the satellites. Next on the tech update locally, we have Nigeria takes action against abusive loan apps. So there are new regulations that have been introduced to control digital lending platforms, especially these loan apps that harass borrowers. So now, what this simply means is that loan apps can no longer shame users. They cannot send threats or contact families and friends aggressively over unpaid loans. So this is Alex, I don't think have you ever experienced something like this before?
Not directly.
Okay. It will not be directly.
We're on the internet and we see what happens.
Okay,
people lashing out on people.
Yeah.
And now with all this AI, you see that it cannot just come in.
You see that they tell you that they call their friend to tell them that their friend is owing them money, blah, 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 use their name as collateral, which is just lies.
Family and friends.
And they don't know that you borrowed money from a loan app.
We even heard at the time, one time, some loan app would take videos or pictures of some their users
and start sharing
it online.
That's breach of privacy. Now, why is this very important for us as a tech update is because this protects the user's dignity and privacy, like what Alex just shared. It also encourages fair lending practices, and also it builds trust in the Nigeria fintech space. It's a good one. I think it's a good one, and I'm enjoying this tech update. So technology, of course, should solve problems, not create new ones. Lastly, on the tech update segment, before we get into our topic of today, Nigeria pushes for a unified AI strategy. So the Nigerian Communications Minister has called for a national and African-wide plan on how AI should be developed and used, similar to what what they're calling out in the global scene. Yeah. So instead of scattered effort around, Nigeria wants a clear roadmap on artificial intelligence. They want to know how it's being built, how it is being regulated and applied across different sectors. So, Alex, this is a talk update that I think we said similar thing globally, and I was saying it now that the NCC is now,
putting it in Nigeria. I really want to thank the NCC for actually bringing this, or should I say foresight, for bringing this in Nigeria, trying to regulate how this goes.
Because we see a lot of things happen on social media nowadays. You don't even know what is real and what is fake nowadays. People just use it anyhow.
Nobody to regulate these things. If you see what you believe and you go and spread false rumors, that's how it is. So we need to actually have these regulations to know once somebody who comes up with a fake AI information, it's out there. This is AI tool. This is not real. This is AI.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah, like Alex is just saying, this will really help Nigeria startup, compete globally, and also prevents the misuse of AI.
Yeah.
And also, I think it also positions Nigeria as a tech leader in Africa. So countries now without an AI plan risk, and they're falling behind in this global tech race. Now we're going to short break, and we'll come into the topic of today, which is talking about artificial intelligence chatbots. We're going to tell you different chatbots, and maybe just divert your mind away from the one you think you already know, and give you other options and tell you how you can work with them with your different businesses out there. Don't go nowhere. Still Tech Today on Independent Television. Welcome back to the program. It's Still Tech Today. Yes, we just introduced the topic properly. Artificial intelligence chatbots. We know AI is no longer a future talk right now. It's currently in our phones. We use it every day in our businesses, and we use it in our classroom, anywhere, workplace, and all of that. So from different chatbots out there, we have the ChatGPT, to Google's Gemini, to Meta AI chatbots, and even different fintech companies, banks are also using different chatbots to make customer service easier. So this is becoming an everyday tool. And today on Tech Today, we are going to compare popular AI chatbots and how they work, and even why they matter to the Gen Zs, to the SMEs, and to everyday users out there. So Alex, I told you he's a backend engineer, I want to call him a tech guru. So Alex, which of these AI chatbots, which of them have you used before, and which of them do you currently use, and why?
So we all know the famous ChatGPT.
Of course, yes, man.
So I wouldn't say I used it, but my favorite is the Gemini AI.
Oh, why is it your favorite?
Because of it brings out ideas into picture. I don't have to pay a videographer or a cinematographer or a video editor. All I need is give this prompt to this Gemini, work on it.
So you use it basically to bring ideas into picture.
Exactly. Whatever I write, whatever we talk about now, I go into it, create a prompt for it, and then I can bring that out.
So people that want to do flyers, people that want to just put things out there,
people who have businesses, I would actually want them to key into this Gemini. Yeah.
Gemini.
People who are into graphics, people who want to go deep into graphics, use key into Gemini. It gives you an idea. It's just like what we said earlier. When you create an idea, and this bot understands your idea and refurbishes for you, it gives you different options. And then you, on your own as human, you know how to weigh them. So that's that's my best for Gemini.
I think I also like I like using if I don't use ChatGPT, obvious ChatGPT, I also use DeepSeek. I use DeepSeek sometimes because when I really want to, except when it has to do with a lot of maybe engineering things, I want to maybe do some codings, and I want to also create a small program, a small software just to, or maybe we have this automation nowadays. I like automating some of my things. If this happens, then do this like this. I learned how to from using. I was exploring DeepSeek, asking questions, and I learned how to. I can now apply for a job by just filling a Google form.
Sure.
Yeah. The prompt will just help me to just do that for me, and he will send an email to the recruiter for me, and he would send my CV tailored in that manner. He would send a cover letter tailored in that manner too, and it just makes life so easy. When you go back and see it, you'll be like, oh, good.
All you have to do is look over it.
So yeah, don't just sleep on ChatGPT all the time and thinking, that's all I know about using different chatbots. So AI chatbots, they are softwares that are trained to understand and respond like humans. Okay, so they help you with writing, they help you with researching, customer service, learning, and doing a lot of creativity. Just like Alex said, sharing that you can just make a prompt out there, and from that prompt you get a picture of what is just an image of what is saying. So now, why do you think these chatbots are booming? Why do you think people are now falling into this chatbot now?
So for me, I know one thing about the chatbot is it's an assistant.
But then people will argue that we have Google. Why don't they use Google searches anymore? They want to use AI chatbot.
And I will explain to you.
Okay.
I can go and upload any information on Google.
Okay.
But I cannot upload on ChatGPT. ChatGPT can go on Google and pick the best from Google. ChatGPT can go to, what's the other search engines, Bing and all.
Bing,
pick what I need because of the prompts I've given my bot, the AI. So for Copilot, I use Copilot as well.
Oh yeah.
So most times when I use Copilot and I want to if it involves coding or anything, once you use Copilot on GitHub, it tells you, oh, this is the best solution. You can use this channel A or this channel B. You don't have to do with coding. All you do is look at what you're going to arrive at, and once you get to that point, you know. So one thing, if we rely solely on ChatGPTs or AIs, you cannot get your finished product.
Because I have a problem that I feel in the future, I'm scared that these AI chatbots, whether GPT and all of that, will not make people, humans, think for themselves.
So if you see it that way, what you said is correct. But if you want to learn, you are the one giving the prompts to the AI. So you tailor the prompt to what you want. That's you working.
But yes, I'm saying that, for example, people will now become so lazy. They always go and tell them, draft a mail saying I'm not going to come to work tomorrow. The next 2 weeks, draft a mail saying I'm not going to come to work tomorrow. Same prompt, maybe just tweak a little bit, maybe say I'm sick today. But people may not learn to just know how to draft a mail in that. Now I can now know that I can tell myself, I can tell if this is an AI generated mail.
Obviously, we
or
should
if
know,
it
because we are in the tech space, you should know that.
Yeah, I can
but
tell.
I know that for some other persons out there, they wouldn't know if this is
some persons, I think one time I got a mail where the person even forgot to remove what GPT said.
And all
yes, a refined version of this, and don't do that, please.
For the lazy ones, they will always be caught. But one thing I know about this, once you do this, you take your time and read what is given before you send it out. If you send the mail and say, oh, ChatGPT, help me send the mail to my manager, I'm not going to come today, I'm feeling sick. You still have the objective to read that mail and understand, tailor it to a way it suits your boss. Sometimes we tell chats, can you reply this as a human?
Yes. And do you know that it replies it, you now seem as if it's, no, I will tell you, don't be so AI-ish.
Thank you.
Be human, and it just gives you a different response, and then you say, wow.
So sometimes when it gives you this answer and you read it, you learn from it. But when people just copy and paste it, that's the issue you're talking about now.
So let's bring it to Gen Zs now, because I know they use it more than we do. Sure. Because some of us don't even want to go there, the millennials and all of that, but they use it more than we do. Now, how can this help them? Many of them are still in university, help them with their homework. How would they help them? Because some persons want to just, while they're doing their studies, they want to also create content. So how do you think this can help them create content and even help them after leaving university for their career growth? And also, what are the warnings or the signs they need to avoid whilst using this ChatGPT, this chatbots?
First of all, I advise every Gen Z out there to see this AI chatbot or whatever this AI chatbot as a researching tool. Don't just sit and relax. This is my assistant that does everything. Yes, it's your assistant, but it does your research for you. It's part of the research process. You do this, you go and find out that, oh, this is what's happening, and then you come again and understand. For example, you said something about content creation. I want to create the content about tech. I go to ChatGPT and ask, what's up? What's the update on tech? What's this? It gives me, I cannot just come and take whatever chat gives me. I go myself, I understand it. It's point of us reading it. We ought to read whatever chat gives us. And I will tell you, the chat is not always correct.
It's not always correct. And they won't tell, they put the disclaimer out there. That's what you have to know. I think prompt engineering is something that people need to know how to prompt, tailor your prompts to this particular thing you're looking out for, and don't be so generic. Yeah. Now let's move to the entrepreneurs, the SMEs. How would you think using this AI chatbot will help them in their business, assuming they are, they are for customer support or for their social media, managing social media, or they are, pushing their content out there or advertisements, and also helping them for maybe their business plan or proposals, or how do you think this AI chatbot?
I'll come from the customer experience side, customer service aspect, because it's very, very good tool for that.
Okay.
You have a business, you are not available 24/7, but with that bot set on your website, it answers your customers for you. It gives people, if Momo is into, let's say, Momo has this airline services.
Okay.
And Momo is traveling in Belgium now, and I want to book for a flight for myself. I reach out to Momo, and the bot would help me because of the prompt you've given your bot.
Yeah.
He sets my flight for me, gives me the exact prices, and then it makes it easy. That's for your business.
Yes.
Now, for let's say small customer success business, I don't want to start mentioning brands.
No,
let's
okay,
say you have your business right now, and then your customers, there's a glitch somewhere. Your customers are furious online, texting, "Hi, this is not working. This is not working." The bot is there to help them know that. Though we know Nigerians, I will tell you, we are not patient with the bot. But once you arrange your bot in a way, it lets them know that this is the issue and this is what you should do to troubleshoot.
Yeah.
So once you troubleshoot, your problem is half solved. You know what's happening. So that's why I feel for every business, there are different parts where this AI tool is very important.
Yeah.
If you don't use it for your graphics, use it for accounting, use it for different aspects.
Use it to plan your business, use it to even save money and save time, use it for, like Alex said, customer service automation, just answering people, even WhatsApp, use it for WhatsApp businesses to say, hi there, this is so-and-so business, I'm not available right now, leave this message. People now go further to even engage in, following up on that. You say, okay, what do you want to buy? I want to purchase 3 bags of this and that, okay, how many quantity, where are you located? And it helps you, and it works 247. It's already there, so you don't have to be awake all the time to reply these messages. Now let's talk about the risk, the ethics, and limitations that we'll have. People talk about this privacy issue and all of that in AI. Okay. So how are you using AI chatbots? So let's talk about that. How do you think we can manage this privacy concerns, data privacy concerns, and the popular thought of that AI would replace humans and replace human thinking? Or the human's creativity per se.
That creativity part about us humans, AI can never take that away from us. I keep saying that because you give these instructions to the AI. The AI cannot work without any human. You prompt this AI. So if I want my AI to work for me this way, I tell him, I want you to be this for me. I want this result in this route. It does that for you. Then it brings out other options, more for you to choose.
Okay.
So I don't see AI. I see that for those who are weak and those who are lazy, let me use lazy, it might affect them.
Okay.
But
what about for data privacy concerns?
So now, when it comes to this data, I see it as a good one because with AI, I cannot share some of my data.
Okay. What kind of data are you not going to be able to share? Let's enlighten our viewers out there that what they shouldn't share on using these chatbots.
Anything that has to do with privacy, anything that has to do with your personal life, you don't tell ChatGPT these are your hobbies or this is who I am. You don't go and explain yourself. You don't give the chat your bio. Don't go and start telling your chat, oh, my name is this, I'm from this. That information is too much to give out.
But some persons may want to argue and say they are telling that so that the AI response can be tailored exactly for them.
But that information is out there in the open now.
But nothing out there can be secret. Even when you take a picture out there and say I'm right here in Texas or I'm right here in New Benin Market, it's already out there uploaded in the internet.
As soon as you post something and say, hi, I'm down here.
No matter even if you delete it.
It's still there.
It's still there.
Even on your phone. Even if you delete it on your phone, I can still get it on your phone.
But at least people should know that AI is a tool and it is not a master. So you control it. Don't let it control you.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, wrapping up on this interesting conversation, I want to ask you this question. Okay. Would you trust AI to run your business for you?
101%.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You would just trust AI to run a business for you?
I would give my AI my prompts, monitor it, and let it run it for me.
And you think it won't make a mistake to do something you don't want?
It won't make, it would make mistakes, but one thing is I get to correct that and it doesn't happen again. Because once you set a prompt for an AI, I will take you to chat, customer service again, respond on this gambling, respond to this. It cannot make mistakes. AI cannot take an answer for something else to drop another thing.
Yeah, actually. So, there was a time I was in ChatGPT. He made a mistake about a particular figure when I was calculating, and I was like, "Why did you make this mistake?" And all of that. He said, "I'm sorry, I forgot. I thought you wrote it as this, and he explained why the mistake happened. And then I was like, "Don't do that again. Always cross-check, double-check before you give me a response." And he said, "Moving forward," and he stored it in my memory. That I would like that. So, wrapping up on the program, for those who don't really use all these chatbots, what is your last word? What are your final words to tell them all about that have not used chatbot before, and maybe they are using only one particular chatbot and they don't use any of this that I just mentioned?
The world is evolving. I don't want any of you to be left out. We have to use these tools. These are meant for us. We started this thing started as little as text. Now the AI is everywhere. We have bots. Yeah. We need to use remotes to do things. Now it's just by saying your voice command and then things are moving. So how long would you wait? All we have to do right now is get along with this, join the band, use it and be beneficial, get productive with these things. Before you go and call someone and say, I want you to come and help me do this, the bot has done this for you. The AI tool is already ready at your beck and call. All you need is a phone, a smart internet, and then you are good. So for those of you out there, I don't want you to sleep on it. Go into this thing. Whatever issues you are having, ask your bot and see. It will give you an insight. Then from there, you can start solving your problem.
Thank you very much. I did not want you to even stop giving that advice out there. Yes, it's been Tech Today. Thank you very much, Alex, for joining us on this program. Yes, I want to just end by saying that AI chatbots are not here to replace humans, but they are here to assist humans. So the real advantage out there is, like Alex shared, is knowing how to use them wisely. So whether you're a Gen Z, you're a business owner, or just curious about this, or just watching the program for the first time, AI is now part of your world. So you know, those who understand AI today will lead tomorrow. So before we leave the studio, I want you to know that we do this also on radio on Monday by 8:30 p.m. till 9 p.m. Every Monday is on radio, 92.3 FM, Independent Radio. So thank you, Alex, once more for coming to the program. I really appreciate your time. Thank you. We'll be seeing more of you again.
Surely.
All right. Always know that in this world of artificial intelligence, in the world of technology, it's good to stay curious, stay connected, and stay very informed. Until next week, my name is Momo Lawal. Bye for now.
ITV, certainly the best. ITV, certainly the best.
You're on to Independent Television, broadcasting live from Benin City. The program is Hitches and Voices, and Hitches and Voices comes to you courtesy of Network for the Advancement of People with Visible Disability, NAVID. NAVID is an established organization here in Nigeria that is advancing the rights of persons with disability. Don't forget, Hitches and Voices comes to you live on independent television and radio. So we have our audience both on TV and on radio simultaneously. I'd like to welcome you once more to Hitches and Voices. My name is Kingsley Okoje, and my sign language interpreter for today is Yinka Davis Constance. I hope I got that correctly. And we have a wonderful guest in the studio. But we'll go on a quick break now. We'll come back, we'll continue on the program. All right, welcome back. The program is still Hitches and Voices. If you've been following us on this program, we've focused our attention on beyond disability, contending with sexual and gender-based violence. Today, we will beam our searchlight on what does victim do when assault occurs, and who is best to talk about this than the center manager, Vivian Sachs, Dr. Faith Edebo. She's with us on the program today. Dr. Faith, welcome to Hitches and Voices.
Thank you.
All right, like I said, we've been on this topic for quite some time. We've looked at the reality of sexual and gender-based violence, as well as legal protections that are valuable. Today, our focus will be on what do victims do when sexual violence occurs. But there's a basic concept around sexual violence. That's referral pathways. It's a major concept when we talk about sexual and gender-based violence. So I would like you to establish for us, what is a referral pathway, and how important are these referral pathways mechanism?
Well, a referral pathway is just like the distance between the survivors who have experienced sexual or gender-based violence and the services that they receive. You know very well that when these things occur, the services are far away. So how do they get there? That is the referral pathway. And them getting there is very, very important, because it's from there they are going to get medical support, psychosocial support, legal services, interventions from the security agencies, and even justice. So getting the right way to the services is very, very important.
So these services are central to how victims get their recovery.
Exactly.
All right. So let's go straight to the heart of the matter. So when sexual violence occurs, what is the first step a victim should take? And take us through that the entire process.
Well, when a sexual violence occurs, it depends on the timing and exactly what has happened. Sometimes we have some sexual violence occurring at night, and sometimes it occurs during the day. But it is advisable that when it occurs, the survivor should find its way to either the police station or the hospital. If it's something that has occurred at night, they should ensure they incident the case at the station, and then from the station they can be referred to the hospital where they get the medical services. And good and very well, the Edo State government have established the Sexual Assault Referral Center, where all cases of sexual violence and domestic violence and other forms of gender violences are attended to. So occasionally we have referrals from the hospitals and from the stations, from organizations and other agencies that are aware that such an establishment exists in the state. So the advice that we usually give is that when a sexual violence occurs, the survivor should not take his or her bath. I said his or her bath because we know gender-based violence is not just tagged to one sex. Yeah. It can happen to either a male or a female. So wherever way that it happens, the person should not take his or her bath, because when this rule is adhered to and they make their way to the hospital or to the station, evidences are preserved. And then whatever sample that needs to be taken for DNA analysis, those things are actually preserved for justice's sake. So that is one very important aspect of it.
Fantastic. But I would like to know, why are victims reluctant to speak up? Why? What's the, from your experience, why do people experience this assault and decide to just keep it to themselves?
Well, there are a lot of reasons. First of all is the awareness of where to go to. It would interest you that the Vivian SAC have been existing since 2020, and a lot of persons are still not aware that there is such a center. That is one very important reason why they are not able to speak of the awareness. And again, they also think of financial constraints. They think of the distance, how they will transport themselves to where they need to get those services, and then that deterrence is there. Other things that would make them not speak out are stigmatization. You know, there is this fear that if I speak out, if I say this is what has happened, people will start pointing fingers at me. And that is something that is very common, and that is what we are actually speaking against. Victimization, stigmatization. It is not the survivor that should be stigmatized. Instead, it's the perpetrator that should be stigmatized.
It's not the survivor that should be stigmatized, but rather the perpetrators of this dastardly act that should be stigmatized. Fantastic.
Exactly.
But let's look at institutional collaboration. I mean, when these occur, victims definitely run to various support centers. That could be hospitals, police stations, SAC centers themselves. How important is collaboration? And when there are gaps, how does this affect the entire process?
Well, collaboration is very, very important. You know, one establishment cannot handle it all. You know, when there are some services that are available in an organization or in an agency, and it's not available in others. So wherever the victims or the survivors come to first, they should ensure that they do what they can do at that particular establishment or agency and refer to where they can get other support. For example, if the survivor gets to a police station, definitely the police are going to do their investigations, but the medical support services cannot be given there. Even the legal support services can also not be given. So it is very important that they refer to where they can get medical checks. And then when they get to the hospital, of course at the hospital...
So the police station makes the referral?
It can go either way, yes. But so at the SAC, we have all these things in one establishment. Okay. So we have the doctors and the nurses that attend to the medical aspect of it. We have the counselors and social workers that handle the psychosocial aspect of it. We have the investigation unit, which houses officers from the Nigerian Police Force and the Nigerian Civil Defense. So they are all there. And we also have a very good collaboration with the Ministry of Justice.
But I'm looking at access to justice now. I mean, assault occurs, victim goes to the hospital, hospital tries to do some medical analysis, and where does it go from there? Who makes the referral? Is it the victim that decides that, okay, after hospital, I'll have to go to the police station? Or how does this entire process work? Where does SAC come in this?
You know, the survivors most times don't know what to do. And that is why all these agencies have officers that have been trained to handle these cases. So when the survivors come to that agency, they should deem it fit and should take it upon themselves to refer to the right places when the survivors do not know. And yes, the SAC comes in at every point in time. It could be from the beginning and it could be at the middle. There are some survivors that know about the center or happen to meet one or two persons that know about the SAC, and they are referred straight to the SAC. And there we handle it from the beginning until it gets to the legal aspect. And then once the thing when it has been pushed to the Ministry of Justice, we do follow-ups. Because at some point in time, we are going to be called for evidence, to come and tender our evidences in court. So we follow it up from there. But however, if the survivor doesn't come to the sexual assault referral center from the beginning, goes to the police station or to any other agencies, all these agencies have been told, they are aware that there is a place called the sexual assault referral centers. So they make their referral, they do their bit and make their referral to the center.
All right, let's look at, because what people would want to hear is the success of persecution. We'll talk about the legal aspect of it now. Has the sex center recorded situation where offenders were justly persecuted?
Very well. We have recorded some good cases, some cases that have received conviction, and there are some cases that are still going on that we are waiting to secure convictions. So far, so good. I can tell that this year we have gotten up to about 5 convictions. I would say 5. You know how the legal system is. You know, the cases have to be investigated, and then the lawyers, the judges, they also have to do their bit. So it may take a while, but at the end of the day, justice will still be served. And that is the essence why we say that the survivors should ensure that evidences are not tampered with. The survivors as well as the investigation unit, the evidences should not be tampered with, because these evidences are very, very important to securing.
So when you mention evidence, what are the evidence that they should arm themselves with?
Well, evidences differs.
Okay.
It could be what the person is wearing. It could be the medical state of the person as at when it happens. Because I think about 2 weeks ago, we received a survivor that was sexually assaulted on that very day. And when they brought the person straight to the center, we could see the blood-stained clothes. We could see that the person was bleeding. We even went ahead to do our examinations and saw some tears, made some repairs. So those things are evidences. And then the security agencies also go ahead to do their investigation by visiting the scene of crime. And when they get there, definitely the survivor would have described where it happened or how it happened. And then when they get there, they see some of the things that actually the survivor talked about. And those things they all form part of the evidences.
All right. If
even
I don't,
for those that that are not bleeding or whatever, when they come, you can still, if it's something that they can see some chemical or physical evidences like sperm or something like scratches, scrapes, even if it's not on the pelvic region, but these things also form evidences.
All right. Is there any chance for somebody who was assaulted and didn't report immediately, and maybe later decided to take up the case? Does such victims stand a chance?
Exactly. Yes, they do.
Okay.
You know, it's not very easy to have survivors speaking up or speaking out when something like this happens. It takes time, because sometimes they are traumatized and they need to deal with that traumatic aspect of it before they come out. And they also take into consideration the community that they live in, the people that they live with. They are also afraid of being stigmatized. So sometimes this thing makes them not speak out immediately. But whenever the survivor is ready to speak out, and the investigation unit are also able to carry out the investigations properly and are able to gather evidences, of course, they stand a good chance to win the case.
All right. Even when some of this evidence may have, time may have
yes,
overtaken it, they still stand a chance.
Even if time have overtaken it, there is still a chance.
All right, let's look at access and inclusion when it comes to persons with disability, as far as the referral pathway is concerned. How accessible and inclusive is this for persons with disability when you look at the entire process? For example, support centers, are they easily accessible, or are they inclusive enough for persons with disability to go and report you know, their assault cases? Give us a picture when it comes to inclusion and accessibility for persons with disability. What's the way?
Yes, we all know that gender-based violence it's common with persons with disabilities. In short, it is 2 or 3 times more commoner with persons with disabilities, and for the vulnerable girls, it is even 10 times more. That is because, you know, the environment, the people, the perpetrators have already seen that these persons have disabilities, so they want to take advantage of them. And you know, there are different forms of disabilities. We could have the physical, the visual, the intellectual, and all of that. So many a times, them not coming up, we have cases of persons with disabilities, but you know, they always have caregivers. Speaking up amongst persons with disabilities has a lot to do with the caregivers, because many a times they are not able to come on their own, so they need somebody to bring them in. And for persons with disabilities, the abusers are not very far. It could either be in the neighborhood or even the caregivers themselves. So if you have a case of a caregiver being the one abusing the person, you know it will be very difficult for the person to come and access such support. And then if it's from the environment, there's still a little bit of reason why they will not want to come. First of all, they are not very sure if the services they are going to get are all inclusive. But I want to make it very direct and plain here that the Edo State government is aware that gender-based violence is commoner among persons with disability, and the center is all inclusive
and accessible.
Very, very accessible.
Because there are still police stations that are not accessible for persons, for example, on wheelchair. Somebody who is hearing impaired goes to the police station to report a sexual assault. There are no sign language interpreters. That may be a bit difficult. You talked about caregivers, and that would include, for example, sign language interpreter. So if somebody who is hearing impaired goes to the police station, how do you document his testimony? Do you rely on the person that comes with him, or the victim, regardless of his disability, have to speak for himself, or the center get an independent person to interpret for those with a hearing impairment?
Well, first of all, for all cases, especially even for minors, whoever brings this minor, it's not in the room when we are talking to this person.
Okay.
We give them that equal opportunity to speak out in the absence of their caregivers or whoever have come to them with them, and that is also inclusive of persons with disabilities. So whoever the caregiver is, by the time we are talking to this person with disability, that person is definitely not in the room. And for those that have hearing impairment or need a sign language interpreter, you know, the center is supervised by the Ministry of Women Affairs, and they have sign language interpreters whom we call. The sign language interpreters are not resident in the center, but when we need the services, we make a call, and the offices are very close by, so it's not something that we have to wait for hours before they come. And that's to say that the sign language interpreter is not dependent on the caregiver of this person with disability.
You talked about training, because training is very important.
Yes.
We've had situations where persons with disability report assault cases, like I said last week, particularly in police station, police makes joke out of it and even tell the victims, oh, you're supposed to be happy now. It's easy to see a man that will give you attention. Why make so much noise about this? These are examples of cases we've heard from persons with disability when it comes to how this support center reacts to their assault. So you talked about training. How important is this training to make them understand that it's a serious issue, particularly for the disability community?
Training is very, very important, and I want to believe that those persons that have told the survivor that they should be happy and all that, they are not trained. Exactly. So at the center we have medicals and we have social workers and counselors that have been trained on trauma-informed counseling. So we are all aware of what it is that when these persons experience such things. And we also know the consequences, the implications of you bringing out, voicing out such words and how it could affect them mentally or psychologically. So these officers have been trained. They know what to say and what not to say. They know what to do and what not to do.
Okay, lastly, let's look at, because abuse happens everywhere, both in rural and urban area. Yes. But I think it's easier for people in the urban area to access these report centers, yes, unlike people in the rural area. So how can people in the rural area access this support? And what's your advice to a victim that is watching this program right now? What step do you think such a victim should take to access justice?
Well, the Vivian Center, the Vivian Sexual Assault Referral Center, is actually in the urban area. And we all know that gender-based violence or assault occurs all over, everywhere. So the Edo State government have established another sexual assault referral center at Uromi. That was done late last year, 2025. So we have a sexual assault referral center located at Uromi, where people of that environment could actually access support. And I can tell you that they've already started receiving clients, they've started receiving survivors, and work is going on perfectly there. And there is also plans to establish such center in the Edo North. So that is also piping. And then for those that are watching me right now, for survivors or whoever that is watching me right now, I want to encourage you that gone are the days when assault happens and they are blaming the survivor for doing one thing or the other to cause that kind of a thing to happen to them. It no longer happens. It's not feasible anymore. So I want to encourage them to speak out. And then when you see something...
It's not just speaking out, that they will speak out, and at the end of the day, justice will be served.
Exactly. Justice will be served.
Okay, it's a wrap on the program today. I want to thank you for following us on television and radio as well. Itches and Voices comes your way every Friday, same time. We'll do this again next week. My name is Kingsley Okoje. Thank you for following on the program today. Till then, spot the hitch and be a voice. Goodbye.
ITV, certainly the best.
Hello and welcome to Woman to Woman. I'm Adesiwa Sawagie. Financial empowerment for women is a big deal, and multiple stream of income is like a key to that success that you've been looking for. And when women have control over their finances, they can make choices, make huge investment, live better life, and then be happy. And then the big question then is this: what is stopping you as a woman from being empowered? We have just a handful of women who are empowered and who are doing things to get themselves empowered. There's another set who have done so much, yet they seem not to be able to break even from one business to another, to another, to another. Yet it's like they're not doing anything because there's no result and they're not making success. So what could be the problem? We have an expert in the house. She is an entrepreneur, Emike Inaboya. She's joining us from Benin City. Hello, Emike. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on the program Woman to Woman.
Yeah, good to see you again. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good to see you too. You look so good, Emike.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, Emike, you are an entrepreneur. I see what you do on Facebook and other social media. I see what you do, and I'm super proud of you. That is why you're here, to talk to women about financial empowerment and the need to have multiple streams of income in Nigeria's economy. So talk to me. Financial empowerment, multiple streams of income, what does it mean to you?
Well, firstly, I'll say when you say empowerment, empowerment goes beyond motivation. Yes, it's about access. Access to education, to finance, to opportunities, access to making decisions. That is what I see about empowerment. When you talk about multiple income streams, that has to do with financial security, wealth building, flexibility. That's what I have come to realize about it. So empowerment, we are talking about access to education. How do we go about access to education? You sit down to say, oh, I cannot be educated because before you are empowered. No. The way who went to school, we go about it is different from somebody who is starting from the scratch, somebody that doesn't know it. For example, if I'm told to take measurement for a tailor, for tailoring example, I will be faster to get it than somebody that doesn't know anything about calculation. Yes. But right now, when we're talking about empowerment, our women, you can get empowered. Don't wait for anyone. You can, from the little money put together, you can empower yourself. How can you do that? The little you have, you can start from the social media. Like me, I use my house, a room in my house for my business. Then I go to social media to expand it. Every phone is good. You mustn't have iPhone 17 before you make it. No. I, for one, I'm using a Techno phone and I'm Android. And I'm making waves. One or two persons call me from social media. Hello, how much is this bag? Hello, how much is this? And I tell them, oh, you pay before delivery. Let me tell you, if that product is not available, they see it's online, quickly what they pay, I can easily go to the market, get it ready. The next day, I post it to them. Women should not wait until they have everything. No, I did not start that way. I didn't have everything before I started. Education is good. Even if you have missed it, there's adult education. You can go about adult education at the same time, be able to save little money given to you. You have friends. You can tell one or two persons about, oh, this is what I want to do. This is what is on my mind. You must not start big. You must not start so big. A woman can go to the market, buy tomato and pepper of 10,000, and sell and make again. By the time you keep selling it like that, you are leaving your comfort zone, trying to have your own money. You must not wait for daddy to come back before you buy Maggi in the house. You must not wait for daddy to come back before you buy sanitary towel for yourself. That is where we are missing it. I want our husband to come back from work before I'm able to cook. No, you can do it yourself. You can do the cooking yourself. Let him be proud of you because you have taken that responsibility. In as much as some daddies will not like, oh, because she did it yesterday, she can do it again. If our daddies continue like that, our business will go down. So I advise every woman that they should balance their flexibility, their family responsibility while earning. As you earn from your business, you should be able to balance your home and yourself. Yes. Having income stream, multiple income stream that provides financial security. What do I mean by that? If one source fails, another can sustain you. As you know, Adesua, I sell bags. I make bags and sell. I make headwears. I make plantain chips and sell. It didn't stop me. I would say because I have a deal with bag making, then I should not put my hand into other sources. I do, because I don't know which one is going to come out so big for me.
All right, Emike, a lot of women have tried what you tried. What made it work for you? Because some women have gone into a particular business, it didn't work. Maybe say food business, it didn't work. Open a restaurant, it didn't work. And then clothes selling, it didn't work. Shoe and bag making, it didn't work. Tomato and pepper selling, it didn't work. Pure water, it didn't work. What is that woman not doing right?
Comparison made it not work. Some of them want to have everything available first. A woman that has a restaurant wants to have so much gain. No, a lot of people go for the lower grade because they feel that's what their money can get to.
Okay.
If I go to market now and I go buy slippers, for example, I'm buying the slippers for 1 naira. I should be able to sell it 2 naira, even if my neighbor is selling it 3 naira, so that I can go to market again, purchase and sell again faster than while she's selling for 3 naira or 4 naira, I would have gone to market 3 to 4 times. Excess gain. That's where I see challenges.
So what other challenges apart from that excess gain? Are there other challenges that makes the woman's business not to work?
Yes, location matters to me. Location.
Okay.
If for example, I do social media, I spend money trying to get my customers online. Every woman may not be able to. Some persons want to be in GRA, but their luck is in Aduwawa. Why not try Aduwawa pattern? I can buy a model of rice, do jollof rice, go out to Aduwawa to where laborers are. A lot of people are working, maybe those doing the road work. I sell off my rice, I come back home. If I bought one model, I was able to sell everything before 2 p.m. I should be able to do 2 models tomorrow. Likewise, the selling of shoes. Likewise, the selling of tomatoes. Can you imagine people that wait plantain? If you used to sell at a particular amount, you buy plantain, somebody is telling you, sell this plantain for me for 4,000. You are saying, no, it must be 4,500. At the evening of it all, you miss it out. Tomorrow, the plantain gets too ripe. Somebody will now come to say, okay, let me buy 2,500. Let it not be a waste. You tell yourself, I bought this plantain 2,500. Why should I now sell it? Then at the end of it, you throw it away. Or you end up selling it for 1,000. If you have sold that plantain for 4,000, even if you bought it at 3,000, that 1,000 is something. But we don't see it. So a lot of people don't see that 1,000 as a big money. That's where we are having challenges.
Okay, balancing financial independence with other life priorities of a woman is another challenge that we need to talk to this afternoon. So how can a woman balance her financial independence with other priorities of life? You know, like women, somebody said women love everything. And so keeping money for your business is usually difficult. So how can a woman manage all of this and then still hold on tenaciously to her independence as a financial person?
You will get to a point where you can get everything. Now that you cannot get everything, cut your coat according to your cloth. I didn't say cut your clothes according to your size. Cut your coat according to your fabric. If your fabric is 1 yard, it's just a waistcoat it can sew, do with a waistcoat. If it's just a hanging shirt, do with a hanging shirt. Competition is not allowed in this race. That is comparison. You are competing with others is what kills us. If it's a stud earring you can afford now, get a stud and let go the other one. When the time comes for you to get the other kind of stuffs as a woman, you go ahead. First, do it the little way you can.
All right, Emike, we're going to take a very short break now. When we come back, I'll be asking you this question: the role of financial literacy in achieving financial stability for a woman. We'll take a short break now. When we come back, I'll ask you that question again. All right, thank you for staying tuned to the program Woman to Woman on ITV. And I've been talking with Emike Inaboya, who is an entrepreneur. Emike, now let's look at the role of financial literacy in achieving financial stability. Does a woman really have to go to the four walls of a school to learn financial literacy or apprenticeship? So what is the role of financial literacy in all of this?
Adesua, like I said earlier, school makes it very easy. It makes it easier for someone to be able to scale faster. Someone that went to school it's easier for the person to catch faster than someone that didn't.
Okay.
While there are persons, while there are persons that even if they didn't go to school, they're able to catch. At the end of it, they miss it. They miss it. Even if it's to primary 6 or primary school, be schooled at all.
Okay.
Somebody can bring a paper for you to read. You'll just be looking. They tell you to sign something. Whether you are signing out your life, you don't even know. That's why I tell people, even be schooled. Even if it's your primary school, you can read and you can write.
So that's very important.
It's a plus.
What about the role of apprenticeship?
Yeah, it's good to learn. Yeah, it's good to go work under someone for a while. So you have an idea. Market is very, very trickish. Do you know some persons can still be selling something for 1 naira when long ago the price has changed? Just because they don't know how they do it. Everybody has to have an idea of apprenticeship, because from the way you have learned from it, you can make calls to your own madam. Till tomorrow I have a madam. I can still call her today.
That's interesting, because nowadays you find it difficult to get apprentice. Young girls don't want to learn trade. Young girls don't want to go to school, but they want to hit it fast.
Yes, a lot of ladies don't want to learn anymore. They don't want to be under anybody. They just want to come to you 1 week, they feel they've known it and they want to open. At the end of the day, they make a whole lot of mistakes. Then tomorrow a customer don't come back to you. You'll be wondering, oh, why is this customer not here? Not knowing that you've already made that mistake. The way you talk to your customers, the way you approach them, the way you discuss some issues with them can make them stay or go. I'm very friendly, even when you're putting your hand in my eye. I pretend it's not hurting me.
Customer service.
Buy and go, then I will not like say, oh, this one's paying me.
Okay. But it's not like that everywhere, because some other places you go there, your price your good is not good enough for that person, and the next thing you get is insults.
You know,
It has happened to me, particularly in markets.
yes. You know why? They feel in the market, like the tomato sellers, let me use that word. They feel because my own looks finer than the other ones, they will come back. Gone are the days. Nobody comes back to you. The only advice is be friendly. That's my advice to women. As you do business, be friendly. Because you don't even know who is going to come back tomorrow. If you scold somebody or you cheat somebody, the person finds out. At the end of the day, the person won't want to come back. Then you start saying, I'm losing customers, I don't know why. You are the cause of your problem. You're causing it by yourself. Women should try as much as possible to be free. Even when the customer is really, it's the customer's money you need, not the customer's face. I don't need customer's face, it's customer's face.
Okay, so what's the most important financial skills for women to learn? Because there was this particular point, boutique was raining. Every corner you turn is a boutique. Every corner you turn is a boutique. Then after that, it was now makeup. Almost every woman wanted to be a makeup artist. Every woman was learning how to be a makeup artist. If you're not learning it physically, you're doing it online. After a while, it fizzled. And now everybody is a fashion designer. So, Emike, as an entrepreneur, I know you do quite a number of things to get that. You multitask, you have quite a number of streams of income. Now, which is the best for a woman to learn? Because as we speak, some women are even confused.
What she has at hand is what she needs to feed on. I will prefer that lady, the woman, to go for dailies. What brings daily income?
Okay.
Yes.
So what is that thing that brings daily income?
Food business is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what if I don't want to do food business? If a woman doesn't want to do food business, what next? What next?
Buying and selling. You could decide, okay, let me pick up things from the market, like Mission Road. You can pick one or two from there, like the toiletries. They are important to homes. You can just decide to take them to the office and like, oh, but instead of going to the market, can you be buying from me? Soaps. Those are the toiletries I'm talking about. Tissue, the soap, the small towels. You can just be doing that and making it. If at the end of the day your money is not so big and you feel you can go to market, you have a friend you pick from and do a refund when you get your little gain, you gather your money like that. It must not start big, like I said.
Okay, let's look at the role of pride in all of this, because you know, as women we are very prideful. We get time for body plenty. Some persons may actually be good in a particular business, but because of pride, how will people see me that I'm doing this kind of business? You know that mentality.
They should put pride aside. Nigeria is not smiling. Nigeria is not smiling. Pride should go and die somewhere first. If I need to do market, what kind of marketing now for me to have food on my table or money in my pocket, I will do it. As far as it's genuine,
okay,
I will do it. Pride goes before a fall. You'll just be proud for nothing. Your shoulder go high. If you rich, nothing to eat. So why the pride?
Okay.
Nobody gives money anymore.
Nobody gives money.
Notice this. Because of that, I don't beg anybody for money. I work. I told you now that I try. Sometimes I write on my WhatsApp. Chips will be available so time. If you need, please. Some places we write. Even if it's one person, I'll try and go and give to the person.
Okay.
Okay, I would have put myself, I want one person, because of one person. Can we do it? I'll go and give to the person. Willingly. Because I'm growing the business.
Okay.
But most people, they should let pride die. If I need to sell soap soda, to have money in my hand, I'll do it.
Okay. But that's you. So how do we now, how do you talk to that woman out there who is still finding it difficult to swallow her pride, who is finding it difficult to start small, who is passionate about business, but all of this confusion, she carry on for shoulders and bag? What do you say to that person?
Firstly, let the pride die. Until the pride dies, she cannot forge ahead.
Yeah.
So he won't be able to kill the pride and start from somewhere. You cannot have 1 million. I cannot walk up to somebody to tell the person, please, so I need 1 million to start business. Oh, the person will look at me, do you even know how much I have in my own business? You can start small. You can have 20,000 naira and go somewhere and buy few things and go and distribute. You can have 50,000. Don't wait. A lot of women have money in their accounts. They are still waiting for that money to be big.
To be very big.
You are waiting, the interest you are losing. The time is
Finding time to be with us on the show today. You have really educated us a lot. Thank you. And I know we're going to do this sometime very soon, at least to put the woman on her toes, to keep breaking the glass ceiling and swallowing her pride, go all out and achieve what she wants to achieve. Thank you, Emike.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, woman, financial empowerment for you in Nigeria, I know can be driven by a lot of factors, maybe digital services, skills training, networking opportunity, and all of that. But know this today, like Emike said, swallow your pride, go all out there, go and achieve what you need to achieve, all right? Break the glass ceiling. If you're financially independent, it's a good thing. And then when you have multiple streams of income, girlfriend, you have arrived. And daily money, like Emike said, is very, very sweet. We'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
ITV, certainly the best.
Omonomba Nedo Ukwakwalokpolo Ewai II, Oba of Benin, performing during the 2025 Ododua Festival. Ododua Festival is unique as it was organized in honor of Ioba Omoni Hwoyeme, Ioba Ewai II, as part of activities for her burial rites. The rich traditions and cultural heritage of the Benin Kingdom was showcased when His Royal Majesty Ewai II engaged the floor to perform during Ugie Ododua in the palace ground in Benin City. In the dance performance, the Ogbelaka royal drummers supplied the needed impetus and rhythm for the dance. However, tributes are paid by the head of Benin deities to the monarch, who was the cynosure at the events. The event can best be imagined as the spiritual rejuvenation, stunned, spectaculars and guests at the colorful ceremony. 7 masquerades representing 7 spirits and deities conveyed different meaning in company with the head of the deities of Benin, with the Oba of Benin, who exhibited a grand cultural dexterity in his dance steps.
ITV, certainly the best.
Thank you so much for joining us today on the program Healthy Living. I'm Adesu Walsawage. Today we want to look at kidney disease, which is a condition where the kidneys get damaged and can't filter waste from the blood properly. It is also known as nephritis or renal disease. And today we're going to be talking to a survivor, so we're going to hear the story of kidney from a survivor. Yeah. On 15th of March was World Kidney Day. We couldn't come on air because we had other things we came up to do on the program. But today we just want to talk about kidney, looking at it from the angle of a survivor, because some persons don't survive it. Yeah, some persons don't, but at least hearing from a survivor will kind of give hope to those who are suffering that disease right now. So my guest today is going to be Esohe Usagedie Goodwin. She is the CEO Eso Kidney Alive Foundation, and she's joining us from the UK, and she's going to be telling us so much about this disease. We'll take a very short break, and when we come back, we'll bring our guest to you. Stay tuned. Thank you for staying tuned. Esohe Usagedie Goodwin is joining us from the UK. She is the CEO Eso Kidney Alive Foundation, and she is a survivor. Esohe, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. I'm fine. I'm great. Can you hear me?
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. All right. A lot of persons already know what kidney disease is. Can you just talk to us how it affected your daily life?
Kidney disease is not, it's supposed to be something that even if you are affected, you can still carry on with life normally. Maybe not 100%, but at least 50% of your life is still left with you. But having kidney problem in Nigeria is a big deal. It affects the entirety of your life. For me, it affected everything about me, my purpose, my dreams, aspirations, everything was on pause when I had my kidney failure. And because one of the biggest challenge of kidney failure is financial constraint. And unfortunately, since the medical attention in Nigeria is not free, so it became a big challenge for me, myself, and my family. So things were really, really rough. People actually supported, but it was not enough because that's what dialysis does. You go today, you spend the entire money that people gave to you. Tomorrow, you're expected to come again to the hospital. It's continuously until you eventually get your transplant. So for me, it was the biggest and the most challenge of my family's life, because my dad have to sell his house just to make sure that we have money for dialysis. My mom ran into debt. We became beggars. And I want to say big shout out to ITV, because ITV actually supported me then by showing me on the screen and just helping me to reach out to the general public, to reach out to me financially. So it was a big nightmare. Yeah, it was a nightmare.
All right. Did you experience any symptoms before the diagnosis? Was there any symptom at all?
Yes. So, but then I'm going to list the symptoms. But what happened is that when those things were showing, I did not know about kidney failure. My parents did not know anything. So it was all about ignorance. But now, more reason why I'm carrying out what's it called, an awareness program in Edo State and also in Delta State, just telling the general public what symptoms are there that you need to watch out for. For me, when I was really little child, because my kidney problem started when I was 9 years, which they didn't pay attention to it. I was always having foamy urine. So when I pee, I noticed that there's particles of foam on it, and it's been there for years. It became serious that I was even admiring my urine. Like I used to tell my friend, like, do you know when I pee, foamy substances are still there. I don't know what that, and I'm not. I told them, I said, I'm not drinking beer. My pee looks like a beer, beer substance like alcohol. So they used to laugh at me, but I didn't know that was a big sign of kidney problem. I was always fatigued. They called me the most lazy child among five in the house. I'm always lazy doing anything. Before I climb one staircase, I'm breathing hard. I experienced that for many years, even when I was employed in Edo State as a teacher. After teaching one class, I would run to one empty room to go sleep because I can't even hold myself. So I was really fatigued. I was having shortness of breath. I was having swollen faces. I didn't know that those were retention of fluid in my body. You know how a pregnant woman looks when they are pregnant, like swollen feet, swollen face. Yeah, I was always having that. And yeah, off and on from the hospital every time they are treating malaria. Because that time when I'm always sick, I'm the only one always sick among five children. And they will always say, it's malaria, take malaria medication. There's no medication then, no malaria medication I didn't take. And those were actually contributors to the reason why my kidney failed on time because I kept taking lots of antibiotics, and of course painkillers as well. Then the one major one was what's it called? Toilet. They call it toilet infection, but it is urinary tract infection. I was always having urinary tract infection, and this is one thing I'm always telling young ladies that come across my life, and I tell them check out for urinary tract infection because I thought it's because me I'm using public toilet. That's why, but unfortunately, it comes from the infected kidney to my bladder. So I didn't know the problem was from within. I was always treating it. I took lots of painkillers, antibiotics, and over time, after 15 years, when I was 9, was when my kidney eventually packed up. Yeah. So these were the signs I actually noticed before I had my kidney failure.
As a survivor, what signs would you advise people not to ignore, apart from the urine, apart from the foreign urine?
Yeah, I just mentioned urinary tract infection for ladies. It happens to men as well, but because of the way our genital system are as ladies, we are prone to urinary tract infection more. So they should watch out for urinary tract infection. They should watch out too for the kind of things they put into their body because the kidney is the engine room of the body. It's just like your engine in your car. And the only way your kidney will work effectively is when you drink a lot of water and you eat the right food. So people should watch out for sorry about that.
Okay, go ahead, please. Are we good now?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, so sorry about that. Yeah, so people should watch out for the type of food and things they take into their body because if you listen, I just said I was taking lots of malaria medications, which is self-medication, which is one of the practices we have a lot in Nigeria. People just fall sick and go to the pharmacy, give me this. Everybody is a pharmacist, So they should watch out for the things they put into their body, both medication, both food, expired food and drinks. All of these things do not just knock the kidney one day. It's when we do this continuously. And then after a while, the kidney definitely will fail. So they should watch out for whatever substance they put into their body. Is it water? Is it food? Is it liquid? Because a lot of people take a lot of hard drugs. They smoke. I preach about this all the time. Smoking is one leading cause as well. Again, smoke, alcohol, foods that are not actually processed properly. A lot of food these days are artificially processed. Watch out for those things. And then, of course, drink a lot of water because what is helping people these days is despite the fact that we take some poisons and some chemicals into our body, but when we take a lot of water, it helps the kidney to work effectively, to flush them out. you know. So that's why you hear everybody say drink water, because sometimes you can't control some of the food that we eat, especially those of us in abroad. Most of their food are not organic. So what we use to support ourselves is the water intake. At least we get good clean water here, you know. So this is my advice to people. You watch out for anything.
Transplant journey. How was your how was the transplant journey was then? Because nowadays you see that some persons who even go through transplant, when they find donors and all of that, it does not match with them, and most often the time it fails. The problem continues, and when the person cannot keep it anymore, the person dies. So tell us about your transplant journey. What made it so successful?
Yeah, I'm so grateful for the fact that, you know, anything about medical world, sometimes we have mistakes, we have these are human beings, these are not robots. So sometimes mistakes happen, and sometimes negligence is there as well. I didn't do my transplant in Nigeria. It doesn't mean that there are no good transplantations in Nigeria. There are good and effective doctors too. But I was just so scared. So we did ours in India, and my mother became my donor. And I can tell you categorically that the test results, I mean, the test my mom went through before she was proven to be my donor was rigorous test. You know, we were even saying, is this test not enough? They said, no, your mom will come again for another, but we don't want to hear any mistake. Those were doctors that were actually diligent in their duties, you know. So when you hear that transplant is done and some persons come back and say it doesn't match it, for me, I'm not a doctor, but I think like if you go to a good hospital and doctors pay attention to very you know, minute things that people will ignore, those are the things that might result to big problem after the transplant. If they pay attention, I don't think there will be any problem, because I have experienced the life of transplant. It's beautiful. Mine was successful, and it was beautiful. Back to life again, back to normal again. I've seen successful people for many years. Their transplantation has lasted for 40-something years, 50-something years, and they are still going, you know. So sometimes life happens. Some people, we don't know what really happened. Spiritual reasons might be there, or even mistakes from the patients themselves. So I don't know how to put it, but one just needs to be careful when you go do your transplant, and also the doctors that attend to you, if they're very effective, to tell you. For me, I'll tell you one thing. The doctors that I know about, they will tell you, even if this person is a match, but in the next 20-something years, there will still be a problem with that kidney. So we're not going to, are you willing to go ahead with the surgery or not? So if you sign yes, then that's on your risk. If you say no, they'll stop and find you a better match. So that's how they value lives here. But I don't know about other places, but life after transplant is beautiful. You know, I'm an advocate for it. If you have
life after transplant, how is your diet like? Just generally your lifestyle after transplant.
My lifestyle after transplant was great. I even joined sports before I left Nigeria. I was always jogging in the morning. Yeah, we had a running group that I joined. So it's not like the life is fragile. No, it's back to normal. I know footballers over the world that have done transplant are also footballers playing professionally. So my life is beautiful. Yeah, back to work, doing what I know how to do best, back to the studio. My diet is normal because I don't have any internal problem. So people that struggle with transplants most times are people that have internal problem like diabetes, you know, and other kind of strong internal problems. Those ones have to mind their diet and mind the things they do. But for me, I will just, till date, I don't think they've seen the reason why my kidney failed, actually. So I'm back to normal. I'm not hypertensive. I'm not diabetic. So my diet, everything is normal. I'm living a normal life like any other person. The only thing is that I am more careful of the things I put in my body, of the things I eat, of the water I drink, because I'm just keeping a normal, healthy lifestyle of what everybody should do anyway. But for me, I know what I went through, and I don't want to go through it again. So I'm keeping a normal, healthy lifestyle. Yes.
All right, so I wish we could go on and on because you have such an interesting story to tell there. I'm so glad you're fine, you're good, and I hope that this talk with you today will definitely encourage one or two or so many persons out there who are sufferers and are waiting for transplantation and hoping for a better life like your own. Thank you so much, Esohe, for finding time to be with us on the show today. We hope to do this again very soon.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
All right, Esohe, do have a great day and enjoy the rest of your life. All right, people, this is it on the show today, and I want to believe that those who are down with kidney disease and all of that will find succor someday soon. Do have a beautiful afternoon. Bye-bye.
ITV, certainly the best.
Ugieni Madonna, imagine Overo, always near Agbo, Manazo, or Ugieni Madonna.
You will have to serve the community for 30 years before you come to this stage. They will ordain you or your title. Then by then you are one of the elder.
This year now, we don't read the year, so that's why we can do this year.
Historically, joining the Elders Council, an individual must have reached a certain age and must have made significant contributions to the community through leadership, service, or other meaningful ways. There was jubilation in the community as sons and daughters of Okada, both at home and in the diaspora, trooped out to be part of the ceremony with various homes of the initiates agog with festivities. Friends and well-wishers of those initiated into the Elders Council jubilated at the Ogwedion after performing all traditional rites. The elders, known as Edion, in company with their loved ones, danced to their various homes where guests and family members were entertained.
ITV, certainly the best.
Omonoba Nedu Ukwakolopolo, Ewai II, Oba of Benin, stepped out majestically with loud cries. Queen Mother Ioba Omoni Ikoyeme, Ioba Ewai II, who departed this world 49 years ago. Isoton is a traditional rite of the procession in memory of the departed person's spirit in Benin Kingdom. It is usually heralded by public display of the departed person's influence during their sojourn on earth. The display of a human effigy symbolizing the departed royal matriarch was preceded by the Oba of Benin, who led the procession from his palace to the Immortal Shrine at King Square in Benin City, where he offered prayers for the repose of the soul of the Queen Mother, Ioba Ewai II. Thereafter, the priest assigned to the Immortal Shrine offered Oba Ewai II items for Isoton on behalf of his family. However, chalk, known as Uri, were presented amidst cheer from royal fans after ancestral spirits were invoked to bear witness and announce his arrival. On his way home, Oba Ewai paid tributes at various pilgrimage sites, including Queen Idia Tomb, the side Oba Market, where a cheerful crowd of traders abandoned their wares to catch a glimpse of the royal personage and join in the celebration.
ITV, certainly the best. ITV, certainly the best.
Top on the list of the initiates was the eldest son of the Esama of Benin and former governor of Edo State, Chief Lucky Nosakare Igbenedion. 11 of his siblings, namely Bright Ayamekwe Igbenedion, Honorable Charles Osemwige Igbenedion, Peter Osawari Igbenedion, Dr. Fred Osamui Igbenedion, Barrister Mike Osarene Igbenedion, Efosa Douglas Igbenedion, Upuma Enes Igbenedion, Osawe Igbenedion, Edosa Igbenedion, Dr. Daniel Omorige Igbenedion, Agbon Steve Igbenedion, as well as the Executive Director Operations, ITV and Radio, Chief Elder Ugbeide Nwonse.
Thank you.
Yes,
It was a vital aspect of Okada community's cultural heritage, which emphasized the significance of age, responsibility, and community service. Over 50 notable sons of Okada were also initiated. According to tradition and customs, those initiated, dressed in white traditional attire, were made to undergo some rituals, while the Odionwe pronounces blessings on them and assisted them to take a seat with the elders.
ITV, certainly the best.
Behind the glass doors of cold rooms and freezers lies a major source of protein for many households. Frozen chicken, turkey, and fish have become common food items in homes, restaurants, and food businesses across the country. From importation and storage to transportation and final sales, frozen food pass through a chain that is highly dependent on electricity, fuel, and efficient handling. Any disruption along the chain often reflects to the final price paid by consumers. On this edition of Market Survey, we examine the current prices of frozen chicken, turkey, and fish, the factors influencing their cost, and how traders are responding to the market conditions. Frozen chicken, turkey, and fish are largely sourced through importation and large-scale distribution, making their prices sensitive to several factors. Traders explain that costs related to import duties, foreign exchange, transportation, and storage play a significant role in determining market prices. Cold room operator says the cost of running generators has increased as frozen food require constant power supply to prevent spoilage. Fuel expenses, maintenance of cold storage facilities, and logistics all add to operational costs, which are often passed on to consumers. At the retail level, traders price frozen items based on size, weight, and type. Prices can also vary depending on supply levels and consumer demand. During the period of high demand, such as festive season, prices tend to rise, while lower demand often leads to slower sales. Consumers say frozen chicken, turkey, and fish remain important protein sources, but prices changes have affected buying habits. Many buyers now opt for smaller portion, cheaper alternative, or less frequent purchases in response to rising costs. Welcome to Market Survey. On this edition of Market Survey, we are currently in the market to get to know the current price of frozen chicken, frozen turkey, and frozen fish. So stick with us as we get to know the current price of these various items. I am Stephanie Notoriua.
and turkey dey for market now. The price is not come down.
Yes, it don't come down.
So how much until they sell kilo for chicken?
Kilo now they sell on 6,000. Chicken wings they sell on 7,000. The turkey na 9,500.
How much until they sell on before?
Before turkey na 10,000, chicken na 7,650. But it don't drop now. Chicken wings they sell on 8,000 now, but now they sell on 7,000.
Since when it drop?
Don't they go like a month now?
So how much I cost buy am for cattle? So that cattle until they carry am?
They buy cattle 55 for chicken. The turkey now they buy am 90.
How much I carry am before?
Before now.
For the chicken?
For the turkey.
What of the chicken?
Chicken they buy am 65.
You see corner pass it.
Yes. I don't get believe say go come down pass on. No be say not guesses it guesses, but I guess this time around it go come down. Now this they change this the monetization, now the money to the chicken to the drop.
Before they sell on 5,000.
So that's 6,000 at the last price now?
Yeah, this is on last price.
So how much until they carry give this carton, this small carton?
This carton now 10 kg and then as it be so now 60,000. Some people will give you 62,000. So depending on how the price they come for them. Yeah, so that's what it be.
How much until they sell them before?
Before they sell on 50,000.
So that means it don't increase now.
Yes, it don't increase.
So what about turkey? How much until they sell kilo?
Kilo now for turkey now 9,000. Before now 8,750.
So that means it does still go up?
Yes.
How much until they sell the carton?
The carton are 90 for now 90,000.
We say no they frozen, we say no block. And the one we say it can't block. Like the price is the difference if people want buy and they'll say this one no block.
Not the same price. Not the same because if you sell at a lower price, now with that loss, it's loss.
Chicken, frozen turkey, and frozen fish. To come with us as we get to know these prices, I am Stephanie Notoriwa.
How much until they sell Scubian fish now?
1 and 4,000. 4,000 naira. Before we dey sell 1,500, 1,000. But now it can't even go past. This must be at 4,000 naira. One cattle at 198. 198,000. Then at 200 now.
How much did they carry on before?
Before, you never reach 120. 198 for one cattle. Say we carry 150. 15,000. But now 95,000.
Get another type of Scubian solo.
I know they said that one. Now let's Scubian they say.
So but that one still there on the high side?
No, that one they cheap, but not the sweet. That one they cheap, but not the sweet. That make us not the seller. Till 150, we fit manage. You buy one fish like this 4,000 take cool soup. Now wasting our time now. Because before a ton soup, it don't break. Before it not be like that.
from our market survey show that the prices of frozen chicken, turkey, and fish remain closely tied to operational cost and supply conditions. Traders says expenses related to storage, fuel, and transportation continue to influence pricing decision. While they all acknowledge the importance of these food items in their daily meal, many say affordability remains a challenge. As a result, buying patterns have shifted, with household adjusting quantity and meals plans to manage expenses. For traders, the market remained competitive as the balance rising cost with the need to attract customers. Despite these challenges, frozen chicken, turkey, and fish continue to play a key role in household nutrition. As economic conditions evolve, monitoring the prices of frozen food provides insights into broader issues affecting food supplies and household spending. Traders report slow patronage, explaining that while goods are available, consumers are more cautious with spending. The balance between keeping frozen food affordable and covering operational costs remains a daily struggle for sellers. As market activity continues, the price of frozen chicken, turkey, and fish serve as a reflection of broader economic pressure affecting food supply and household budget. For now, traders continue to adjust to these realities, navigating a market shaped by rising costs and changing demand. Sellers explain that frozen product requires uninterrupted power supply to prevent spoilage. As a result, operators depend heavily on generators, making fuel cost a significant part of their daily expenses. These costs, combined with transportation and market levies, continue to influence the final price paid by consumers. Despite the availability of frozen chicken, turkey, and fish in the market, patronage remains slow. Traders say many customers now buy in smaller quantities or reduce how often they purchase frozen food as they try to manage limited household budgets. For traders, the situation has created a difficult balance. While they strive to keep prices within the reach of consumers, they must also cover operational costs to avoid losses. Some say profit margins have dropped, while others worry about sustaining their businesses if costs continue to rise. As the market adjusts, frozen chicken, turkey, and fish remain essential food items for many families. However, their prices continue to reflect broader economic pressure affecting food supply and consumption patterns. In the end, the frozen market tells a larger story, one of resilience, adaptation, and the everyday struggle to balance nutrition with affordability. As conditions evolve, both traders and consumers continue to navigate challenging market environment.
on the high side as opposed to how it was sold. And that leads to today's edition of Market Today. I am Stephanie Montoliwa.
RTV, certainly the best.
Ojode aṣáájú abẹ́rẹ́ pẹ́. Àyàbá sọ́kì ẹ̀ abá àtọ́pẹ́ ẹ̀. Àdàyè àtọ́jú ẹ̀ abá àtọ́pẹ́ ẹ̀. Ẹgbẹ̀júwà.